All right, I'm Lucas Anderson, and my author discussion is Langston Hughes. So his early life, he was born February 1st, 1920 in Joplin, Missouri. He was raised by his mother and grandmother. His grandmother ended up dying and they moved around a bit, but they eventually settled in Cleveland where he went to high school, got his diploma. And then starting his career, he attended Columbia from 1921 to 1922. And then he moved to Washington, D.C. in November of 1924. And his first book, The Weary Blues, was published in 1926 by Alfred A. Knopf. Making an impact. So during the Harlem Renaissance, the big thing was encouraging African Americans to be like more artistic and creative. All like the racial oppression, whites really didn't think they had any like talent, I guess you could say. So they were always very hesitant to kind of put themselves out there. So Langston Hughes was kind of one of the encouragers of that. And the big thing was he wanted African Americans to be themselves when they were creative. Kind of when he first started like getting other African Americans involved, he noticed they were still doing like poems and artwork that would still more appeal to the white person. And they weren't really making anything that was like themselves. And then he collaborated on Fire, which was a book that showcased African American arts. So it was basically just trying to promote African Americans that were like just getting started. He died in 1927 after battling prostate cancer. And his house in Harlem is actually a city landmark. So I think I looked it up. You can go in like the downstairs, but I think the upstairs, I don't know what it's used for. And then his legacy today, he left behind a bunch of poems and writings. A lot of them were undone just because of the time of his death. And then he has poems. I mean, he has poems and like writings and stuff like that, but a lot of people don't know that he did plays. And so some of them are still performed today, and the two most popular being Street Scene and Black Nativity. And then here is my works cited.